If you or someone you love is going through cancer treatment right now, here's something worth hearing today. What you eat can't fight the disease for you, but it can make a real difference in how you feel while your body does the hard work of healing. That's not nothing. That's actually a lot. I want to be really honest with you from the start. This video is not about miracle foods, and it's not about anything that replaces what your medical team is doing. It's about something simpler and honestly more useful. Everyday foods that can help support your strength, your appetite, and your comfort during a really difficult chapter. Because here's what a lot of people don't realize until they're in the middle of it. Treatment itself often changes how food tastes, how much you want to eat, how your body processes nutrients, and how tired you feel day to day. Nobody really prepares you for that part. So let's reframe this together. Cancer treatment can feel like something happening to your body, completely out of your hands. But nutrition, what you choose to put on your plate when you can manage it, is one of the few areas where you still get to make small, steady choices. Not a cure, not a fix, but a form of care you can give yourself, one meal at a time. That shift from feeling powerless to feeling like you have some agency matters more than people give it credit for. Today, we're going to walk through 6 foods that come up again and again when it comes to supporting the body during cancer treatment. For energy, for appetite, for helping things simply feel a little more manageable. I'm going to explain not just what they are, but why they tend to help, and how to actually work them into your day when eating might be the last thing you feel like doing. And I'll tell you now, the last food on this list is one that almost nobody talks about in these conversations, but it might matter more than any of the other 5 combined, especially for people dealing with appetite loss or taste changes during treatment. We'll get there. Stick with me. Every treatment plan is different. Every body responds differently, and some foods that are generally healthy may not be right for you depending on your specific treatment, medications, or blood counts. Please talk to your oncology team or a registered dietitian before making changes. They know your situation in a way I never could. Think of this video as a starting point for that conversation, not a replacement for it. Now, before we get into the list, I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching this as a patient, a caregiver, or someone supporting a friend through this, drop a comment and let us know. Are you going through treatment right now? Are you here for someone else? You don't have to share details you're not comfortable with. Even just saying caregiver here or 3 months into treatment helps this become the kind of community it's meant to be. People read these comments. People find comfort in them. So if you're willing, say hello below. Okay, let's talk about food. Real, practical, doable food. Not perfection. Not a strict list of rules to follow flawlessly on your hardest days. Just 6 things worth having in your kitchen, and why they tend to help people going through exactly what you or your loved one is going through right now. We'll start with the ones that are easiest to work in even on low appetite days, and build up from there. Let's get into it. Let's start the list. Number 6 on our list, and we're counting up to the most important, is bone broth. Now, I know that might sound almost too simple, but hear me out, because this one comes up again and again for a good reason. Here's the mechanism in plain terms. During treatment, your digestive system often takes a hit. Nausea, mouth sores, changes in appetite, sometimes trouble tolerating heavier foods. Bone broth is gentle. It's warm, it's soft, it goes down easy even when solid food feels like too much. It also carries protein and hydration in a form your body doesn't have to work hard to process. Think of it like giving your digestive system a break while still handing it something useful to work with. Not unlike how a simple, easy road is gentler on tired legs than a steep hill. On the evidence side, nutrition researchers and oncology dietitians generally agree that staying adequately hydrated and getting enough protein, even in small, frequent amounts, plays a meaningful role in helping the body tolerate treatment and recover strength afterward. It's not a cure, it's not a treatment, but supporting basic nutritional needs during this time is something experts consistently point to as important. In practice, this looks like a warm mug of broth in the morning or sipping it slowly through the day when a full meal feels impossible. Some people add a little ginger for nausea or a soft cooked vegetable if they're up for it. It's flexible, it's forgiving, and on hard days, I managed a cup of broth is a real win, not something to feel guilty about not doing more of. Number 5 is soft cooked, brightly colored vegetables. Think steamed carrots, roasted squash, or well cooked spinach. Here's why these specifically, rather than raw vegetables, which sound healthier but aren't often the right call during treatment. The mechanism here is twofold. First, cooking breaks down fiber, which makes vegetables easier to digest, important when your gut is already sensitive. Second, these particular vegetables carry a wide range of vitamins and plant compounds that your body uses in everyday repair processes. The kind of ongoing maintenance work your cells are doing constantly, treatment or not. Research in general nutrition science has long pointed to colorful vegetables as a consistent part of supporting overall health and immune function, not as a treatment for cancer itself, but as part of giving the body the raw materials it needs to do its job. Many oncology dietitians specifically recommend well-cooked over raw vegetables during active treatment, simply because they're gentler on a compromised digestive system. Practically, this means roast a tray of squash or carrots when you have the energy, and portion it out for the days you don't. Soups built around soft vegetables are another easy way in. One pot, several days of meals, minimal effort required on the days that are hardest. Number 4 is eggs. Simple, familiar, and often surprisingly well tolerated even when other foods aren't. The mechanism: eggs are what's often called a complete protein. They contain the full set of amino acids your body needs, and protein is especially important during treatment because your body is working overtime on cell repair and maintaining muscle mass, which treatment can otherwise chip away at. Unlike a steak or a tougher cut of meat, eggs are soft, quick to prepare, and easy on the jaw and the stomach. Nutrition experts generally point to protein intake as one of the more important and most commonly undermet needs during cancer treatment, particularly because appetite loss makes it hard to eat enough of anything, let alone protein-dense foods. Eggs solve that problem efficiently. A lot of nutritional value in a small amount of manageable food. In practice, this might mean a soft scrambled egg first thing in the morning when appetite tends to be a little higher for many people, or a hard-boiled egg kept in the fridge as an easy, no-prep protein option for a low-energy afternoon. Small, doable things. That's the whole theme here. That's 3 foods down. We've got 3 more to go, including that one I mentioned at the start, the one that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Let's keep going. Number 3 on our list is ginger. The mechanism here is one a lot of people have experienced firsthand, even outside of cancer treatment. Ginger has a long-standing reputation for settling the stomach, and there's a reason it keeps showing up in conversations about nausea specifically. It seems to interact with the digestive system and the body's nausea signals in a way that many people find genuinely soothing, not eliminating nausea, but taking the edge off it. On the evidence side, nausea and vomiting are among the most common and most disruptive side effects of many cancer treatments, and researchers have studied ginger specifically in this context for years. The findings, generally speaking, are encouraging enough that many oncology teams and dietitians will suggest trying it as a complementary, low-risk option alongside anti-nausea medication, not instead of it. That distinction matters. Ginger is a support, not a substitute for what your medical team prescribes. In practice, this looks like ginger tea sipped slowly, a small piece of crystallized ginger kept nearby, or ginger added to that broth we talked about earlier. Some people find flat ginger ale helpful too, though real ginger tends to have more of the compound that seems to help. One important note: if you're on any medications, especially blood thinners, check with your care team before adding ginger regularly, since it can interact with certain prescriptions. This is exactly the kind of small detail your oncology team can advise you on based on your specific situation. Number 2 is nuts and seeds, things like almonds, walnuts, chia, or ground flaxseed. Here's the mechanism. These foods pack a lot of nutritional density into a small amount of food, protein, healthy fats, and calories, all in something you don't have to eat much of to benefit from. That matters enormously during treatment, when appetite is often low, but nutritional needs, particularly for protein and calories to prevent muscle and weight loss, often go up. Think of it like a concentrated dose of fuel for a body that can only manage small amounts at a time. Nutrition scientists generally agree that healthy fats and plant-based proteins play a supportive role in maintaining weight and strength during illness, especially for patients dealing with reduced appetite. Many oncology dietitians specifically recommend nuts, seeds, and nut butters as easy ways to add calories and protein without requiring the patient to eat large volumes of food, which can feel impossible on hard days. Practically, this might mean a spoonful of almond or peanut butter on soft toast, a small handful of walnuts as a snack, or ground flax seeds stirred into oatmeal or a smoothie. If chewing is difficult due to mouth sores, which is common with some treatments, nut butters are often much easier to manage than whole nuts. Small adjustments like that can make a real difference in whether a food actually gets eaten. Before we get to the final food on this list, the one I promised you at the beginning, I want to pause for just a second. If this video has been helpful so far, if any of this feels like something you needed to hear today, hitting like genuinely helps this reach other people who are searching for exactly this kind of support right now. That's really the only reason I mention it. This content only reaches the people who need it if it gets a little help along the way. Okay, let's get to that final food. We're about to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention in conversations about eating during cancer treatment. Something that isn't really a single food at all, but changes how every other food on this list actually works for you. That's coming right up. Here it is, the one I promised you. Number one isn't really a single food. It's a strategy, blending. Smoothies, purees, soft blended meals, however you want to think about it. And here's why this one might matter more than anything else we've talked about today. The mechanism is simple but powerful. Blending takes everything we've already covered, the protein from eggs or nut butter, the nutrients from soft cooked vegetables, the soothing effect of ginger, the calorie density of nuts and seeds, and turns it into one easy-to-swallow, easy-to-digest combination. During treatment, taste changes are incredibly common. Food can suddenly taste metallic, bland, or just wrong in a way that's hard to describe unless you've lived it. Chewing can be painful, with mouth sores. Appetite can disappear almost entirely some days. Blending sidesteps a lot of these barriers at once. It doesn't ask your body to do much work, and it lets you combine several nutritionally important foods into a single manageable serving, instead of trying to eat 6 separate things throughout the day. This is really the piece that ties the whole list together. It's the reason oncology dietitians so often turn to smoothies and blended meals as a go-to recommendation. Not because they're trendy, but because they solve multiple problems at the same time: low appetite, taste changes, difficulty chewing, and the sheer exhaustion of trying to eat when eating has become hard work instead of something enjoyable. In practice, this might look like a blend of soft-cooked spinach, a spoonful of nut butter, a bit of that bone broth or some milk or a dairy-free alternative, and maybe a small piece of banana for sweetness if that's tolerable. Some people find cold or slightly chilled smoothies easier to manage when mouth sores are an issue, since cold can be soothing. Others prefer things warm. There's no single right formula. The right one is whichever combination you can actually get down on a given day. And that's really the heart of everything we've covered today. Because here's what I want you to walk away with. This isn't about perfect eating. It's not about forcing down foods you can't stomach, or feeling guilty on the days when even broth feels like too much. It's about having a handful of gentle, doable options in your back pocket, so that on the hard days, you're not starting from zero. You already know what might help. And zooming out even further, this is about more than nutrition. It's about having a little more strength for the moments that matter. Being able to sit at the table with your family, even if you can only manage a few bites. Having a bit more energy for a phone call with your grandkids, or the walk to the mailbox and back. Food in this context isn't about achieving some ideal. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to be present for your life, in whatever way that looks like right now. That's worth something. That's worth a lot, actually. Before I let you go, I want to say this clearly because it matters. Everything in this video is general information, not medical advice, and it's absolutely not a substitute for guidance from your oncology team or a registered dietitian. Every treatment, every body, every set of blood counts and medications is different. Please talk to your care team before making changes to your diet, especially during active treatment. They know your specific situation, and that conversation is worth having. So if there's one thing I hope you take from today, it's this. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to keep showing up for yourself, one small bite, one small sip at a time. If this video helped you, or if you think it might help someone you know who's going through this right now, please share it with them. Sometimes the most useful thing we can do for someone we love is send them exactly the right information at exactly the right moment. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing, because we're building a place here for real, honest conversations about health and aging. No fear, no gimmicks, just what actually helps. And as always, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What's helped you or someone you love get through hard days at the table? Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.